And now, First Warn 5 weather with meteorologist Matt Holliner.
6:25 this morning, and a quick update on the air quality, which really hasn't changed for quite a while now. Last week we saw it dip to unhealthy for some, and it's just basically been hanging out at moderate air quality. And I think that's going to continue for at least the next 3 days, and certainly possible that it could continue through the weekend as well. Because as I showed you on that water vapor imagery, there's a rough line of African dust all the way from the Saharan desert here to Texas. Now, it's not as heavy as it was a couple weeks ago, but it's still slowly trickling in here, and that's why skies are still going to look a little bit hazy the next 3 days. And if you have harder lung conditions, again, I don't want to tell you, because then you would never go outside, basically. You can go outside, but you shouldn't do any strenuous activities. You shouldn't exercise outside. You shouldn't do the outdoor chores. Leave that for someone else, because certainly going to continue for the next 3 days, and again, possibly into the weekend as well, still dealing with that Saharan dust. And it's not unusual for this time of year. This is kind of a slightly more active year than some years, but it usually from the middle of June through the middle of July, sometimes late July, we deal with African dust, so really not too uncommon, but this seems to be an extra active year. Breezy today everywhere in the valley, but particularly out near the coast. Gusts at South Padre around 25 miles per hour. The high is going to be 89. Not worried about any rain. It's going to be partly cloudy most of the day. With that kind of wind, that means a few rip currents are possible. And it's going to get choppy this afternoon on the Bay and Gulf. Not super choppy, but if you do go out, especially if you're in a smaller boat, a jet ski, you should go a little bit slower than usual. Shouldn't go full speed. Otherwise, you're going to be in for an extra bumpy ride. Now, besides right along the coast, notice that as soon as you get to Brownsville, it's mid-90s, and that includes Harlingen and Raymondville. So most of Cameron and Willis County, mid-90s day. Most of Hidalgo County, upper 90s, and most of Starr County, as is usually the case, triple digits. You're going to be the hottest. But everybody's going to be hotter than the temperatures indicate, because the humidity higher than it should be this time of year. And so the average heat index this afternoon, 104. So maybe it's a good thing that it's going to be breezy. It does help a little bit. I would go ahead, if you need to mow the grass, do it today or tomorrow. The next 4 days, there's no chance of rain. It's going to be breezy all 4 days, so pretty similar weather. But the heat is actually going to get a little bit worse, and I think the humidity could get a little bit worse too. So actually today and tomorrow, though it's going to certainly be hot, I do think it's going to be worse Thursday and Friday. Just looking at the next 3 days, 97 today and tomorrow, but 98 on Thursday. The feels like temperature 104 today and tomorrow, but 106 for Thursday. Gabby?